Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. When I started my journey, many told me I was dreaming too big. They expected me to seek approval before acting. But let me tell you a secret. The biggest mistake you can make is waiting for the world to believe in you before you believe in yourself. I vividly remember the countless no's I heard before founding Alibaba. If I had waited for external validation, my dream would have died before it was even born. That's why I always say, if not now, when? If not me, who? This phrase isn't just a motto, it's a call to action. The world rarely recognizes your value at the beginning. Success doesn't come to those who wait for the perfect moment. It belongs to those who work, learn, and persist. Every small step you take today is paving the way for your success tomorrow. Don't underestimate the power of humble beginnings. Reality can be harsh, but it's liberating. No one is going to hold your hand along the way. If you want to achieve something great, you need to start small and grow consistently. It's like planting a seed. You don't see immediate results, but with care and persistence, it transforms into a robust tree. So what's the lesson here? Don't wait. Start now with what you have. Your journey to success begins the moment you decide to believe in yourself, regardless of the circumstances. Remember, every great endeavor began with a simple decision to take the first step. I remember when I was rejected for a job at KFC. It was the only job I had applied for, and I was the only one, out of 24 candidates, not to be accepted. I could have felt defeated, but I chose to see it as a sign that I was destined for something different, something bigger. You will fail, that's inevitable. But if you learn from your mistakes and keep trying, each failure will be another step up the ladder of success. It's like I often say, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. This mindset is crucial for turning obstacles into opportunities. The real winners aren't those who never make mistakes, but those who never give up. They understand that failure isn't the opposite of success, but an integral part of it. Embracing this truth is the first step to building a resilient mindset ready for success. In my years of experience, I've seen a common pitfall that robs many of happiness and success: the habit of comparing oneself to others. When you focus solely on others' results, you forget that each person has their own unique journey. I started with nothing, no money, no connections, no support, and yet I built an empire. Let me share a profound truth. The secret isn't in competing with others, but in improving yourself a little each day. Success isn't about beating someone else. It's about becoming better than you were yesterday. Those who waste time envying others lose precious moments they could invest in their own growth. I've always believed that your only real competition is against who you were in the past. It's like I often say, when you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor. This mindset shift can be incredibly powerful. It's not about what you lack compared to others, but about the vision you hold for yourself. Fear is a universal human experience, but what sets successful people apart is how they handle it. I've learned that fear can either paralyze you or propel you forward. The choice is yours. Let me share with you how I've transformed my fears into powerful motivation. First, acknowledge your fear. Don't try to suppress it or run from it. Face it head on. When I started Alibaba, I was terrified of failure. But instead of letting that fear control me, I used it as fuel. I asked myself, what's the worst that could happen? Once I had an answer, I realized I could handle it, and that gave me courage. Next, reframe your perspective. Instead of seeing fear as a stop sign, view it as a signpost pointing towards growth. Every time you feel afraid, it's an opportunity to step out of your comfort zone and learn something new. This shift in mindset can turn fear from your enemy into your ally. Action is the antidote to fear. The more you do what scares you, the less power fear has over you. I remember the first time I had to speak in front of a large audience. I was nervous, but I pushed through. Each subsequent speech became easier, and now, addressing thousands feels natural. Finally, use fear as a compass. Often the things we fear most are the very things we need to do to grow. If starting a business scares you, it might be exactly what you need to do. If speaking up in meetings makes you nervous, it's probably where your greatest opportunity for advancement lies. Throughout my career, I've come to understand that success is often misunderstood. Many people equate it with wealth or fame, but I've learned that true success goes far beyond these superficial measures. Let me share with you what I believe is the real essence of success. First and foremost, success is about creating value for others. It's not just about what you gain, but what you give. When we founded Alibaba, our goal wasn't just to make money, but to create a platform that would empower small businesses and entrepreneurs. That's where real satisfaction comes from, knowing that your work is making a positive difference in people's lives. Success is also about continuous personal growth. It's not a destination, but a journey of constant learning and improvement. I've never considered myself the smartest person in the room, but I've always strived to be the hardest working and the most curious. This mindset has been crucial in my journey. Another key aspect of success is resilience. It's about getting up one more time than you fall. I've faced numerous setbacks and failures, but each one has made me stronger and wiser. Success isn't about never failing. It's about never giving up. Lastly, true success is about leaving a positive legacy. It's about creating something that will continue to benefit others long after you're gone. At Alibaba, we've always focused on long-term value creation rather than short-term gains. This approach not only leads to sustainable success, but also ensures that your work has lasting impact. One of the most crucial lessons I've learned in my journey is the power of thinking big. Small dreams don't inspire anyone, not even yourself. Having an ambitious vision is the first step towards achieving something truly remarkable. Let me share why I believe this is so important. When you think big, you open yourself up to possibilities you might never have considered otherwise. It's like setting out to climb a mountain. The higher you aim, the further you'll go, even if you don't reach the very top. This mindset shift can be transformative, pushing you beyond your perceived limitations. Big thinking also attracts big opportunities. When we started Alibaba, we didn't just aim to be a successful company, we wanted to create an ecosystem that would revolutionize the way business is done in China and beyond. This vision attracted talented people, investors, and partners who shared our dream. However, thinking big isn't about being unrealistic. It's about combining ambition with action. Dream big, but start small. Break down your grand vision into actionable steps. Each small achievement will build your confidence and move you closer to your ultimate goal. Remember, the size of your success is determined by the size of your belief. If you think small, you'll stay small. But if you think big and work persistently towards your vision, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. As I often say, if you don't give up, you still have a chance. Giving up is the greatest failure. Throughout my life, I've never been the smartest person in the room, but I've always strived to be one of the hardest working. This commitment to hard work has been the cornerstone of my success, and I believe it's a principle that can transform anyone's life and career. Hard work is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is, or what advantages others might have. With consistent, dedicated effort, you can level the playing field. I've seen this play out countless times, both in my own life and in the stories of successful people I admire. But hard work isn't just about putting in long hours. It's about working smart, being efficient, and constantly looking for ways to improve. It's about pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, tackling challenges head-on, and never settling for mediocrity. This kind of focused, purposeful effort is what truly drives success. I've always believed that talent is common, but perseverance is rare. Many people have great ideas or natural abilities, but it's those who combine these gifts with relentless hard work who truly excel. Success is not just about what you're capable of doing, but what you're willing to do. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. The path to mastery in any field is paved with countless hours of practice, learning, and yes, failure. But it's through this process of persistent effort that we grow, develop our skills, and ultimately achieve our goals. As I often say, today is hard, tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine. In my years of experience, I've come to see problems not as obstacles, but as opportunities in disguise. While many people complain about challenges, successful individuals find ways to turn these problems into valuable solutions. Let me share how you can adopt this transformative mindset. First, change your perspective. Instead of seeing a problem as a roadblock, view it as a chance to innovate. When we faced the challenge of trust in online transactions at Alibaba, we didn't give up. We created Alipay, which revolutionized e-commerce in China. Every problem carries within it the seeds of a solution. Next, focus on understanding the root cause. Don't just treat the symptoms. Dig deeper to find the underlying issue. This approach not only solves the immediate problem, but often leads to breakthroughs that can benefit many. It's about seeing the bigger picture and thinking long-term. Collaboration is key in problem solving. Bring together diverse perspectives and expertise. Some of our best solutions at Alibaba came from team brainstorming sessions where we encouraged wild ideas and out-of-the-box thinking. Remember, 2 heads are often better than 1, and 100 heads can be revolutionary. Fear is natural. Everyone feels it. I've felt it many times. Fear of failing, fear of rejection, fear of looking foolish. But what I learned is that fear can either paralyze you or push you. It depends on how you choose to use it. When I faced rejection after rejection, I had 2 options. Let fear stop me or turn it into fuel to prove I could do something meaningful. I chose the second. Fear is not your enemy. It's energy waiting to be redirected. Most people try to suppress their fear, but I say embrace it. Understand it. Use it as a signal that you're stepping into something important. Every time I walked into a meeting knowing investors didn't believe in me, I used that fear to sharpen my focus. I didn't want to impress them. I wanted to build something that would make them regret not believing in me. When you channel fear into action, it becomes one of your most powerful tools. Instead of thinking, what if I fail? Start thinking, what will happen if I don't try? That mental shift changes everything. I've seen many people transform their lives not because they had no fear, but because they learned to move forward with it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else is more important. Your dream must be stronger than your doubt. When fear whispers, you're not ready, respond with action. That's how you build mental resilience. That's how you develop a success mindset. Those who achieve great things are not fearless. They simply choose to move ahead despite the fear. That decision, repeated daily, transforms your entire life. Success is often misunderstood. Many believe it's about money, fame, or power. But I've met countless wealthy people who are unhappy. I've seen powerful individuals who feel empty. If success was just about wealth, why do so many rich people still search for meaning? The truth is, real success is not measured by what you have. It's measured by the impact you create. Finally, embrace failure as part of the process. Not every solution will work, and that's okay. Each failed attempt brings you closer to the right answer. As I often say, if you don't give up, you still have a chance. Giving up is the greatest failure. Persistence in problem solving is what separates the successful from the rest. In today's rapidly changing world, the ability to adapt is not just an advantage, It's a necessity for survival and success. Throughout my career, I've learned that those who adapt quickly are the ones who thrive in any scenario. Let me share why I believe adaptation is so crucial. First, understand that change is the only constant. The business landscape, technology, and consumer behaviors are evolving at an unprecedented pace. Resisting this change is futile and often detrimental. Instead, we must learn to embrace it, seeing each shift as an opportunity rather than a threat. Adaptability starts with a mindset of continuous learning. Stay curious, be open to new ideas, and never assume you know everything. At Alibaba, we've always encouraged a culture of learning and innovation. This approach has allowed us to pivot when necessary and stay ahead of the curve. However, adaptation doesn't mean changing your core values or mission. It's about finding new ways to achieve your goals in a changing environment. Think of it like water. It takes the shape of whatever container it's in, but its essence remains the same. Be flexible in your methods, but steadfast in your vision. Remember, the most successful companies and individuals are not always the strongest or the most intelligent, but those who are most responsive to change. As Charles Darwin said, "It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change." Everyone has dreams, but what separates dreamers from achievers is action. Throughout my journey, I've met countless people with brilliant ideas, but only a fraction of them had the courage to take the first step towards realizing those dreams. Let me share what I've learned about bridging this crucial gap. The first and most important step is to overcome fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These are the invisible barriers that keep most people in their comfort zones. But remember, every great achievement in history started with someone who was willing to take a risk. Next, break down your big dream into small, actionable steps. When we started Alibaba, we didn't set out to become a global e-commerce giant overnight. We focused on small, achievable goals and gradually built our way up. This approach makes the journey less daunting and more manageable. Persistence is key. The road from dream to reality is rarely smooth. You'll face setbacks, doubts, and failures along the way. What matters is how you respond to these challenges. As I often say, today is hard, tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine. Keep pushing forward even when things get tough. Surround yourself with the right people. Achievers understand the power of collaboration and support. Find mentors who can guide you, partners who complement your skills, and team members who share your vision. No great achievement is ever accomplished alone. Finally, stay flexible and adaptable. Your initial plan may need to evolve as you progress. Be open to feedback, learn from your mistakes, and be willing to pivot when necessary. The path to achieving your dreams may not be straight, but with persistence and adaptability, you can reach your destination. Throughout my career, I've learned a crucial lesson. Not all criticism is created equal. While feedback can be invaluable for growth, listening to the wrong critics can be detrimental to your success. Let me share some insights on how to navigate this challenge. First, understand that criticism is inevitable when you're pursuing something significant. When we started Alibaba, many people told us our ideas were too ambitious or wouldn't work. If we had listened to every naysayer, we would never have achieved what we did. You need to develop a thick skin and a discerning ear. It's essential to differentiate between constructive criticism and baseless negativity. Constructive feedback, even if it's hard to hear, comes from a place of genuine concern and often offers specific suggestions for improvement. Negative criticism, on the other hand, is often vague, personal, and doesn't provide actionable insights. Remember, not everyone will understand your vision, especially in the beginning. Some of the greatest ideas in history were initially met with skepticism or ridicule. Trust your instincts and your passion. As I often say, if you don't give up, you still have a chance. Giving up is the greatest failure. Seek out mentors and advisors whose opinions you trust and respect. These should be people who have experience in your field and genuinely want to see you succeed. Their critiques, even when tough, are likely to be more valuable than random opinions. Finally, use criticism as a tool for growth, not as a reason to doubt yourself. When faced with negative feedback, ask yourself, is there any truth to this? Can I learn something from it? If yes, use it to improve. If not, have the courage to ignore it and keep moving forward. Throughout my journey, I've come to understand that the most successful businesses are those that solve real problems and create genuine value for the world. It's not just about making money, it's about making a difference. Let me share some insights on how you can create value in your endeavors. First, identify a real need or problem. Look around you. What challenges do people face? What inefficiencies exist in current systems? When we started Alibaba, we saw that small businesses in China struggled to reach customers and compete globally. By addressing this need, we created a platform that empowered millions. Innovation is key to creating value. Don't just copy existing solutions. Think of new, more efficient ways to solve problems. This might mean leveraging new technologies, combining different ideas, or completely reimagining how things are done. Remember, the goal is to make people's lives easier or better in some way. Focus on long-term value rather than short-term gains. Building something truly valuable often requires patience and perseverance. At Alibaba, we've always prioritized sustainable growth over quick profits. This approach not only leads to more lasting success, but also ensures that you're creating real. Throughout my journey, I've learned a valuable lesson, not to fear failure, but to see it as a relentless teacher. Everyone who has reached the top has failed more times than they can count. The real problem isn't failure itself, but how most people use it as an excuse to give up. Every mistake brings with it a precious lesson. Every obstacle teaches a new strategy. What really separates the successful from those who give up is how they handle their mistakes. While some complain and play the victim, others learn, grow, and become stronger. You will fail, that's inevitable. But if you learn from your mistakes and keep trying, each failure will be one more step on the ladder of success. As I often say, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. This mindset is crucial to transform obstacles into opportunities. True winners are not those who never make mistakes, but those who never give up. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success, but an integral part of it. Embracing this truth is the first step in building a resilient mindset ready for success. When I look back on my journey, I realize that one of the biggest traps many fall into is the constant comparison with others. It's a thief of joy and success. When you focus solely on others' results, you forget that each person has their own unique path. I started with nothing, no money, no connections, no support. And yet, I built an empire. Let me share a personal insight. The secret isn't to compete with others, but to improve yourself a little each day. Success isn't about beating someone else. It's about becoming better than you were yesterday. Those who waste time envying others lose precious moments they could invest in their own growth. I've seen countless talented individuals falter because they were too busy looking at their neighbor's grass instead of watering their own. Remember, when you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor. It's not your current situation that defines you, but your vision and your determination to pursue it. Instead of looking sideways and comparing, look forward. Work hard, learn from your mistakes, and advance daily. Create your own metrics of success. What matters isn't where you start, but how far you've come and where you're heading. In the end, The only competition that truly matters is against who you were in the past. Are you growing? Are you learning? Are you pushing your boundaries? These are the questions that will propel you forward, not how you measure up against others. Throughout my career, I've witnessed a pattern. Most people give up when faced with difficulties, but those who continue, even in the face of challenges, are the ones who truly achieve something great. I faced hundreds of rejections before tasting success, and each one only fueled my determination. What keeps a person on track is their vision. When you have a strong purpose, even in moments of doubt, you find the strength to continue. It's not about talent or luck, it's about never giving up. I always emphasize this point. Ordinary people with extraordinary determination can outperform the most talented individuals who give up too soon. I remember the early days of Alibaba, when we were struggling to make ends meet. There were times when we couldn't even afford to pay our employees. But we persisted because we believed in our vision of empowering small businesses. That persistence eventually paid off, transforming not just our company, but the entire e-commerce landscape. The secret is simple, yet powerful. Keep trying until you succeed. Success belongs to those who persist when others have already given up. It's like water dripping on a stone. It might seem ineffective at first, but with time and consistency, it can carve through the hardest obstacles. So when you face setbacks, remember, persistence is not just about endurance. It's about maintaining your purpose and enthusiasm through all your efforts. It's the fire that keeps burning even when everything around you seems dark. People often complain that they're not lucky, that they weren't born in the right country, or that they don't have the right connections. But I've always believed that the world is brimming with opportunities. You just need the courage to seize them. Many people overestimate the importance of complete knowledge and underestimate the power of action. You don't need to know everything to start. You just need to start to know more. It's like learning to swim. You can read all the books about swimming techniques, but you'll never truly learn until you get into the water. Starting before you're ready forces you to be creative and resourceful. It pushes you out of your comfort zone and into the growth zone. This is where real progress happens. Every successful entrepreneur I know has one thing in common. They all started before they felt fully prepared. So, don't wait for all the lights to turn green before you set out. Start your journey now. Take that first step, no matter how small. Remember, a year from now, you'll wish you had started today. The path to success begins with a single, often imperfect step. Fear is a universal human experience, but what sets successful people apart is how they handle it. I've learned that fear can either paralyze you or propel you forward. The choice is yours. When I first pitched the idea of Alibaba, many thought I was crazy. The fear of failure was overwhelming. But instead of letting it stop me, I used it as fuel. I asked myself, what's the worst that could happen? Once I faced that question head on, I realized that the regret of not trying would be far worse than any failure. Fear often comes from focusing on what you lack rather than what you have. When you shift your perspective, fear can become a powerful motivator. It pushes you to prepare more thoroughly, to work harder, and to appreciate the journey as much as the destination. I encourage you to reframe your fears. Instead of seeing them as stop signs, view them as challenge flags. When fear arises, it's often a sign that you're pushing your boundaries and growing. Embrace it. Use it to sharpen your focus and heighten your determination. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the ability to act despite it. The next time you feel afraid, take a deep breath and step forward anyway. That's where true growth and success lie, just on the other side of your comfort zone. Throughout my career, I've seen many people chase success without truly understanding what it means. Let me share my perspective. Success isn't just about wealth or fame. True success comes from creating something valuable and impacting lives positively. When we started Alibaba, our goal wasn't to become the biggest company or to make the most money. We wanted to create a platform that would empower small businesses and entrepreneurs. That vision of making a difference is what drove us, and it's what I consider real success. I've met many wealthy individuals who aren't happy or fulfilled. On the other hand, I've encountered people with modest means who find immense satisfaction in their work because they're making a difference. This taught me that success is more about the value you create than the value you accumulate. True success also involves personal growth. It's about becoming a better version of yourself, overcoming your limitations, and continually learning. It's about the person you become in the process of achieving your goals, not just the goals themselves. So I encourage you to redefine success for yourself. Ask yourself, what impact do I want to have? How can I add value to others' lives? When you align your goals with a greater purpose, you'll find that success becomes not just an achievement, but a fulfilling journey. One of the most crucial lessons I've learned is the power of thinking big. Small dreams don't inspire anyone. Not yourself, not your team, and certainly not the world. Having an ambitious vision is the first step to achieving something truly groundbreaking. When we started Alibaba, we didn't just aim to be another e-commerce company. We envisioned a platform that would revolutionize how business is done in China and eventually the world. This big thinking allowed us to push boundaries and overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Thinking big doesn't mean being unrealistic. It means seeing beyond the current limitations and envisioning what could be possible. It's about setting goals that stretch you and your team to grow and innovate. As I often say, if you don't do it, nothing's possible. If you do it, at least you have a chance. Big thoughts lead to big actions. When you think big, you naturally start to behave in ways that support those grand visions. You become more creative, more resilient, and more willing to take calculated risks. These are the qualities that separate true innovators from the rest. Remember, the world makes way for those who know where they're going. So don't be afraid to dream big. Set audacious goals. Envision a future that excites and inspires you. Because in the end, it's not just about achieving those big dreams. It's about who you become in the process of pursuing them. Throughout my journey, I've encountered many talented individuals. But talent alone is never enough. What truly sets successful people apart is their work ethic. I may not have been the smartest person in the room, but I was always determined to be the hardest working. Hard work is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter where you come from or what advantages others might have. With persistent effort, you can level the playing field. I often tell young entrepreneurs, today is cruel, tomorrow is crueler, but the day after tomorrow is beautiful. Those who work hard through the difficult times are the ones who get to enjoy the beautiful days. It's important to understand that hard work isn't just about putting in long hours. It's about working smart, being efficient, and constantly seeking ways to improve. It's about pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone and embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. I remember the early days of Alibaba, when we worked 16-hour days, 7 days a week. It wasn't easy, but that dedication laid the foundation for our future success. We weren't just working hard for ourselves, but for our vision of empowering small businesses across China and beyond. So don't shy away from hard work. Embrace it. Let it shape you, strengthen you, and propel you towards your goals. Remember, success is not just about what you achieve, but about the person you become through your efforts. Hard work doesn't just build businesses, it builds character. In my years of experience, I've learned that the way you view problems can make all the difference. While some people see obstacles and give up, others see opportunities and thrive. The key is to develop a problem-solving mindset. Every problem contains within it the seeds of a solution. When we faced challenges at Alibaba, we didn't view them as roadblocks. but as chances to innovate. For instance, when we realized that many Chinese businesses struggled with online payments, we didn't just complain about it. We created Alipay, which revolutionized e-commerce in China. To transform problems into solutions, you need to change your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" And "How can I use this to create value?" This shift in thinking can turn setbacks into stepping stones. It's also crucial to approach problems with curiosity and creativity. Often, the best solutions come from thinking outside the box. Don't be afraid to challenge conventional wisdom or try unconventional approaches. Some of the world's most successful businesses were born from solving problems in innovative ways. Remember, every great entrepreneur is essentially a problem solver. By honing your ability to see opportunities where others see obstacles, you're not just overcoming challenges, you're positioning yourself for success in a world that's constantly changing and evolving. The journey from dreamer to achiever begins with action. When we started Alibaba, we didn't have all the answers. We had a vision of connecting businesses across China, but we weren't sure exactly how we'd achieve it. What set us apart was our willingness to start, to try, to fail, and to learn. Achievers understand that perfection is the enemy of progress. They know that it's better to start with an imperfect plan than to wait for the perfect moment that never comes. They're willing to make mistakes because they know that each mistake is a lesson that brings them closer to their goals. Another key difference is persistence. Dreamers often give up at the first sign of difficulty, while achievers see obstacles as challenges to overcome. They understand that the path to success is rarely smooth, and they're prepared for the ups and downs. So, if you have a dream, don't just hold on to it, act on it. Take that first step, no matter how small. Remember, every great achievement started with a decision to try. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is, when I started my journey, many told me I was dreaming too big. They expected me to seek approval before acting. But let me tell you a secret. The biggest mistake you can make is waiting for the world to believe in you before you believe in yourself. I've always believed that when you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor. This isn't just a motivational quote. It's a mindset that can transform your life. Your dreams and ambitions give you the energy and purpose that transcend financial difficulties. The secret is simple. Keep trying until you succeed. Success belongs to those who persist when others have already given up. Think of persistence like water dripping on a stone. At first, it seems to have no effect, but over time, that constant drip can carve through even the hardest rock. Your persistent efforts, no matter how small they seem, are slowly but surely carving your path to success. Remember, every no brings you closer to a yes. Every setback is setting you up for a comeback. The power of persistence isn't just about not giving up. It's about growing stronger with every attempt. People often complain that they're not lucky, that they weren't born in the right country, or that they don't have the right connections. But I firmly believe that the world is full of opportunities. You just need the courage to seize them. The problem is that most people wait for the perfect opportunity, and when it appears, they're too afraid to take risks. Meanwhile, those who don't hesitate end up achieving the best results. It's not about waiting for the stars to align. It's about reaching for the stars, no matter where you stand. You don't need to wait for the perfect situation. You can start where you are, with what you have, and grow from there. Opportunities are for those who are prepared. If you don't act, someone else will. This is the essence of entrepreneurship, seeing potential where others see obstacles. I've always said, today is difficult, tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine. This isn't just optimism, it's a call to action. The difficulties of today and tomorrow are what prepare you for the success that awaits. Every big opportunity starts as a small one. Don't overlook the small chances. They could be the beginning of something incredible. The world is indeed full of opportunities, but they favor the bold and the persistent. One of the most fatal mistakes I've seen people make is waiting for the perfect moment to begin. The best time to start is now, with what you have. This principle has been at the core of every success I've achieved. When we started Alibaba, we weren't ready. We didn't have all the answers, all the resources, or all the skills. But we started anyway. We learned as we went, adapted to challenges, and grew step by step. If we had waited until we were ready, we might still be waiting. This principle applies to every aspect of life, not just business. Whether you're thinking of learning a new skill, starting a project, or making a life change, don't wait for the perfect conditions. They rarely come. Instead, start with what you have and improve along the way. I often tell young entrepreneurs, if you have a great idea, just do it. You can learn from your failures. This isn't reckless advice. It's an acknowledgement that the best learning comes from doing. The experience you gain from starting, even if you fail, is invaluable. Remember, perfection is the enemy of progress. The most successful people aren't those who wait for everything to be perfect. They're the ones who start with imperfect beginnings and perfect their craft along the way. Your first step doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be taken. Fear is a natural part of any journey towards success. I felt it countless times throughout my career. But the secret isn't to eliminate fear, it's to transform it into a powerful motivator. When I first pitched the idea of Alibaba, I was terrified. The internet was new, e-commerce was uncharted territory, and many thought I was crazy. But instead of letting this fear paralyze me, I used it as fuel. I asked myself, what's the worst that could happen? And realized that the regret of not trying would be far worse than any failure. Fear often comes from stepping out of your comfort zone, but that's exactly where growth happens. Every time you face your fears, you expand your capabilities. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger you become. I've learned to see fear as a sign that I'm on the right track. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. When you feel fear, it means you're pushing your boundaries, challenging yourself, and that's where real progress lies. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting despite it. Use your fear as a compass pointing towards what you need to do next. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it propel you forward. That's how you transform fear from a barrier into a launchpad for success. Throughout my journey, I've come to realize that success isn't just about wealth or fame. True success comes from creating something valuable and impacting lives positively. This understanding has been the driving force behind everything I've done. When we started Alibaba, our goal wasn't just to make money. We wanted to create a platform that would empower small businesses and entrepreneurs. Seeing how our work has transformed lives and communities, that's what I consider real success. Success is also about personal growth. It's about becoming a better version of yourself every day. It's about overcoming challenges, learning from failures, and constantly evolving. The person you become in the process of achieving your goals is just as important as the goals themselves. I believe that true success is measured by how many people you've helped, how much value you've added to the world. It's not about what you gain, but what you give. This perspective shifts your focus from self-centered ambition to purpose-driven action. Remember, at the end of the day, you can't take your wealth with you. But the impact you've made, the lives you've touched, that's the legacy that lives on. That's the true measure of success. So ask yourself, how will your success make the world a better place? In my experience, small dreams don't inspire anyone, not even yourself. Having an ambitious vision is the first step towards achieving something truly remarkable. It's what separates those who make history from those who merely observe it. When I first talked about helping small businesses in China to sell globally, many thought it was impossible. But thinking big isn't about being unrealistic. It's about seeing possibilities where others see limitations. It's about having the courage to envision a future that doesn't exist yet. Big thinking attracts big opportunities. When you set audacious goals, you force yourself to think differently, to innovate, to push boundaries. It's like aiming for the stars. Even if you miss, you'll land among the clouds, which is still higher than you would have reached with a smaller aim. However, thinking big isn't just about grand visions. It's also about seeing the big picture in everyday situations. It's about understanding how small actions can lead to significant outcomes. Every decision, every interaction is an opportunity to think big and create impact. The size of your success is determined by the size of your dreams and your dedication to achieving them. Don't let others' limited thinking constrain your vision. Dare to think big, because in the end, it's the big thinkers who change the world. Throughout my career, I've never claimed to be the smartest person in the room, but I've always strived to be one of the hardest working. This dedication has been the cornerstone of my success, and it's a principle I strongly believe in. In business and in life, problems are inevitable. But I've learned that while some people see problems as roadblocks, others see them as opportunities. The difference lies in your perspective and your approach. Every problem contains within it the seeds of a solution. When we faced challenges in the early days of Alibaba, instead of getting discouraged, we asked ourselves, how can we turn this into an advantage? This mindset shift is crucial. It transforms you from a victim of circumstances into a creator of solutions. I remember when we realized that many small businesses in China didn't have the technical know-how to use our platform. Instead of seeing this as a setback, we saw it as an opportunity to educate and empower these businesses. This not only solved our problem, but also created immense value for our users. Problems often highlight areas that need improvement or innovation. They're like signposts pointing towards progress. When you encounter a problem, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to grow? What opportunity is hidden within this challenge? The greatest innovations often come from solving the most pressing problems. Don't run from problems, run towards them. Embrace them as opportunities for growth, learning, and creating value. That's how you transform problems into solutions and obstacles into stepping stones. In today's rapidly changing world, the ability to adapt is not just an advantage, it's a necessity. I've seen countless businesses and individuals fail, not because they lacked talent or resources, but because they couldn't adapt to change. Adaptation is about more than just surviving. It's about thriving in new environments. It's about being flexible in your thinking, open to new ideas, and willing to change course when necessary. In the business world, we call this pivoting, but this principle applies to all aspects of life. I've always believed that change is the only constant. The moment you stop adapting is the moment you start becoming obsolete. This is why continuous learning is so crucial. The more you know, the more adaptable you become. It's like having a diverse toolbox. The more tools you have, the better equipped you are to handle any situation. But adaptation isn't just reactive. It can also be proactive. By anticipating changes and preparing for them, you can turn potential threats into opportunities. This forward-thinking approach has been key to Alibaba's success. We don't just respond to changes in the market. We try to shape the future of commerce. It's not the strongest or the most intelligent who survive, but those who are most adaptable to change. Embrace change, stay flexible, and always be ready to learn and evolve. That's how you stay ahead in a world that never stops changing. Everyone has dreams, but few have the courage to act on them. This, I believe, is the fundamental difference between dreamers and achievers. It's not about the size of the dream, but the willingness to take that first step towards making it a reality. Dreamers often get caught up in the someday mentality. They say, someday I'll start my business, or someday I'll pursue my passion. But achievers understand that someday is not a day of the week. They start now with what they have, where they are. I've met many people with brilliant ideas, but ideas alone are not enough. What separates achievers from dreamers is action. When we started Alibaba, we didn't have all the answers, but we took action, learned from our mistakes, and kept moving forward. That's the essence of achievement. Achievers also understand that dreams evolve. As you work towards your goals, you gain new insights, face new challenges, and discover new opportunities. Being flexible and adapting your dream as you go is part of the journey. The key is to keep moving, keep learning, and keep growing. The distance between your dreams and reality is called action. Don't just dream big, act big. Take that first step, no matter how small it might seem. Because in the end, it's not the dreaming that changes the world, it's the doing. Throughout my journey, I've encountered countless critics. Some offered valuable insights, while others simply tried to discourage me. Learning to distinguish between constructive criticism and destructive negativity has been crucial to my success. Not all criticism is created equal. Some people will criticize you out of jealousy, fear, or their own limitations. Others will offer genuine feedback aimed at helping. Waiting for the perfect moment is a fatal mistake. The best time to start is now with what you have. This principle has guided me throughout my entrepreneurial journey and has been key to my success. Many people are paralyzed by the fear of not being fully prepared. They wait for the perfect conditions, the right amount of knowledge, or the ideal circumstances. But here's the truth. You'll never feel 100% ready. The most successful people are those who start before they feel ready. When we started Alibaba, we didn't have all the answers, we didn't have a perfect business plan, and we certainly didn't have all the skills we needed, but we started anyway. We learned as we went, adapted to challenges, and grew stronger with each obstacle we overcame. Starting before you're ready forces you to learn quickly and adapt on the go. It's like learning to swim. You can study all the techniques, but at some point, you need to jump into the water. That's where the real learning happens. Every day you wait is a day of potential growth lost. Don't let perfectionism hold you back. Start with what you have, learn from your mistakes, and improve as you go. The path to success is not a straight line. It's a series of iterations and improvements. The sooner you start, the sooner you can make those improvements. Fear can either paralyze or propel you. Throughout my career, I've learned that the key to success is not the absence of fear, but the ability to transform it into a powerful motivator. Many people see fear as a sign to stop, but I've always viewed it as a signal to push forward. When you feel fear, it often means you're stepping out of your comfort zone, and that's where growth happens. It's like standing at the edge of a cliff, terrifying, but also exhilarating. I remember the fear I felt when we decided to take on eBay in China. They were a global giant, and we were just a small startup. But we channeled that fear into motivation. We worked harder, thought smarter, and pushed ourselves beyond what we thought was possible. The trick is to reframe your fear. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" ask, "What if I succeed?" This simple shift in perspective can turn fear from a roadblock into a launching pad. It's not about being fearless, it's about being courageous in the face of fear. Every great achievement in history was once considered impossible. The people who changed the world weren't fearless. They were determined. They felt the fear and did it anyway. That's the mindset that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Throughout my career, I've never been the smartest person in the room, but I've always been one of the hardest working. This dedication has been the cornerstone of my success, and it's a principle I strongly believe in. Many people look for shortcuts to success, but I've found that there's no substitute for hard work. It's like building a house. You can't skip the foundation and expect the structure to stand. Every successful person I know has put in countless hours of effort to get where they are. Hard work isn't just about putting in long hours. It's about consistency, perseverance, and always striving to improve. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the things others aren't willing to do, so you can achieve what others can't. I often tell young people, if you want to be successful, you have to work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. This isn't about burning out. It's about dedicating yourself fully to your goals. When you're building something meaningful, work doesn't feel like a burden. It becomes a passion. Talent is common, but talent combined with hard work is rare. That's what sets successful people apart. So whatever your goals are, be prepared to roll up your sleeves and put in the effort. There's no glory in easy work, but there's immense satisfaction in earning your success through dedication and perseverance. Throughout my career, I've learned that while some people see problems, others see opportunities. Every challenge hides a valuable solution for those with the right mindset. This approach has been crucial to my success and the growth of Alibaba. The key is to shift your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" It's like being a gold miner. You have to sift through a lot of dirt to find the gold, but that's where the value lies. Every problem contains the seeds of its own solution. This mindset isn't just for business. It applies to all aspects of life. When you face a setback, train yourself to look for the opportunity within it. It's not always easy, but it's a skill that can be developed with practice. It's about being solution-focused rather than problem-focused. Remember, the biggest innovations often come from solving the most challenging problems. So the next time you face a difficulty, don't run from it. Embrace it, analyze it, and look for the opportunity hidden within. That's where true innovation and growth happen. Throughout my career, I've learned that the most successful businesses are those that solve real problems and create genuine value for the world. The more value you create, the more success you achieve. This principle has been the cornerstone of Alibaba's growth. When we started Alibaba, our goal wasn't just to make money. We wanted to solve a real problem for small businesses in China, helping them reach customers and compete in the global market. By focusing on this value creation, we not only built a successful company, but also contributed to the growth of millions of small businesses. Creating value isn't just about having a great product or service. It's about understanding the needs of your customers, your community, and the world at large. It's about asking yourself, how can I make life better for others? This mindset shifts your focus from what you can get to what you can give. I often tell entrepreneurs, don't just chase profits, chase problems. Look for the pain points in society, in industries, in people's daily lives. These problems are opportunities in disguise. When you solve a significant problem, you create significant value, and success naturally follows. Remember, true success comes from making a positive impact. When you focus on creating value, you not only build a sustainable business, but also a legacy that lasts. So ask yourself every day, what value am I adding to the world? The answer to that question is the key to long-term success and fulfillment. Knowledge is the true differentiator in today's world. Throughout my journey, I've discovered that continuous learning keeps you ahead and prevents obsolescence. This commitment to learning has been fundamental to my success and Alibaba's growth. When I started teaching English, I learned more than my students did. Every day was an opportunity to improve, to understand different perspectives, and to grow. This early experience shaped my belief that leadership and learning are inseparable. You can't lead effectively if you're not constantly expanding your knowledge. In the digital age, information becomes outdated quickly. What worked yesterday might be irrelevant tomorrow. That's why I've always encouraged my team to be lifelong learners. It's like being a farmer. You need to constantly plant new seeds of knowledge to ensure a continuous harvest of innovation and success. I make it a point to read and learn from various sources every day, whether it's books, conversations with interesting people, or observing market trends. There's always something new to learn. This habit has helped me spot opportunities others might miss and adapt to changes before they become challenges. The world belongs to those who never stop learning. In business and in life, your greatest competitive advantage is your capacity to learn faster than others. Stay curious, remain humble, and always be ready to update your understanding of the world. Throughout my entrepreneurial journey, I've learned that resilience isn't just important, it's essential. Failures, criticisms, and difficulties are part of the path. What defines great leaders is their capacity to keep moving forward despite adversity. I remember the early days of Alibaba when we were struggling to raise funds. Investor after investor turned us down. Many would have given up, but we saw each rejection as a lesson, an opportunity to refine our pitch and strengthen our resolve. It's like being a boxer. You need to learn to take hits and get back up stronger. Resilience isn't about being invincible. It's about recovering quickly from setbacks. It's about maintaining your vision even when the path becomes unclear. When we faced fierce competition from eBay in China, our resilience allowed us to stay focused on our long-term goals rather than getting distracted by short-term challenges. The most successful people I know aren't those who never face difficulties. They're the ones who refuse to be defined by their setbacks. They understand that challenges are not roadblocks, but stepping stones. Each obstacle overcome makes you stronger and better prepared for the next challenge. Remember, success is not a straight line. It's filled with ups and downs, victories and defeats. Your ability to stay resilient through these fluctuations will determine your ultimate success. Keep your vision clear and your determination strong. One of the most important lessons I've learned is that you can't wait for others' approval to pursue your dreams. The only validation you truly need is your own. When I started Alibaba, many thought it was a foolish endeavor, but I believed in the vision. I often meet young entrepreneurs who are waiting for someone to validate their ideas. But here's the truth. The most innovative ideas often seem crazy at first. If everyone immediately understands and supports your vision, it might not be revolutionary enough. It's like being an artist. The most groundbreaking works are often misunderstood initially. Your belief in yourself must be stronger than others' doubt in you. When we were building Alibaba, we faced skepticism from all sides. But our self-belief was unshakable. We knew we were creating something valuable, even if others couldn't see it yet. The journey of entrepreneurship can be lonely. Not everyone will understand your vision or support your dreams. But that's okay. The most successful people in history often started their journey alone, guided only by their inner conviction. The strength of your belief will attract others who share your vision. Start with what you have, trust your instincts, and keep moving forward. The right support will come when you prove your commitment through action. What you believe shapes your reality. Throughout my journey, I've witnessed how a positive mindset can transform challenges into opportunities. When we started Alibaba, we didn't just face obstacles. We faced what seemed like impossibilities. I've always believed that optimism isn't just about feeling good. It's a strategic advantage. When others see problems, a positive mindset helps you see possibilities. When we were competing with eBay, many thought we were crazy to believe we could win. But our positive outlook helped us see solutions others missed. Your mindset is like a lens through which you view the world. A negative mindset limits what you see as possible, while a positive one expands your horizons. I've seen this countless times. Two people face the same situation, but the one with the positive mindset finds opportunities the other misses. This isn't about ignoring reality or challenges. It's about maintaining belief in your ability to overcome them. When we faced financial difficulties in our early days, our positive mindset helped us stay focused on solutions rather than dwelling on problems. It's like being a captain in a storm. Your crew looks to you for confidence and direction. A positive mindset attracts positive outcomes. People want to work with those who believe in possibilities. Resources flow toward those who maintain optimism in the face of challenges. Success follows those who remain positive, while others succumb to doubt. Creating a lasting legacy isn't about building monuments to yourself. It's about the impact you leave on future generations. Throughout my journey, I've focused not just on what we could achieve today, but on how our actions would shape tomorrow. When we built Alibaba, we weren't just creating a company. We were building a platform that would empower millions of small businesses. That's the kind of legacy that matters, one that continues to create value long after you're gone. It's like planting a forest. You might not see it fully grown, but future generations will benefit from your foresight. True legacy isn't measured in dollars or market share. It's measured in lives changed and opportunities created. When I look at the millions of entrepreneurs who've built successful businesses through our platforms, I see the real meaning of legacy. It's about enabling others to achieve their dreams. I often tell my team that our decisions today should stand the test of time. Will what we're building still be valuable in 20, 50, or 100 years? This long-term thinking helps us make better choices and create more sustainable solutions. It's about thinking beyond our own time and success. The greatest legacy you can leave is a world better than you found it. Focus on creating lasting positive change, empowering others, and building systems that will continue to generate value for generations to come. That's how you build something truly meaningful.
In a groundbreaking presentation that left the audience spellbound, Jack Ma, the visionary founder of Alibaba, shared profound insights that transcend traditional business wisdom. His message wasn't just about success. It was about transformation, resilience, and the power of unwavering belief in oneself. Jack Ma's journey from humble beginnings to global leadership has become legendary. But what he revealed in this session went far beyond his personal story. He shared revolutionary perspectives on failure, success, and a mindset needed to thrive in today's rapidly changing world. His authenticity and wisdom resonated deeply with everyone present, from aspiring entrepreneurs to seasoned business leaders. Drawing from his experiences of being rejected from KFC, failing multiple college entrance exams, and building one of the world's largest tech companies, Jack Ma delivered powerful insights about the true nature of success. His message was clear: success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about how you respond to it. The presentation took an unexpected turn when Jack Ma challenged conventional wisdom about preparation and timing. The best time to start was yesterday. The next best time is now, he emphasized, debunking the myth of waiting for the perfect moment. This perspective particularly struck a chord with those who have been hesitating to pursue their dreams. For those seeking practical guidance, Jack Ma offered actionable strategies that anyone can implement immediately. He referenced influential books like Good to Great by Jim Collins and The Lean Startup by Eric Ries, demonstrating how theoretical knowledge can be transformed into practical success. The most compelling aspect of his presentation was his unique perspective on problem solving. Rather than viewing challenges as obstacles, Jack Ma presented them as opportunities in disguise. This mindset shift alone has the potential to transform how people approach difficulties in both business and life. What made this presentation truly exceptional was Jack Ma's ability to connect universal principles of success with personal development. He shared insights about emotional intelligence, resilience, and the importance of continuous learning, elements often overlooked in traditional business discussions. Throughout the session, Jack Ma maintained a perfect balance between inspiration and practicality, weaving in stories from his experience at Alibaba while relating them to challenges faced by entrepreneurs and professionals today. His message wasn't just about business success, it was about personal transformation and leaving a lasting legacy. The impact of this presentation extends far beyond the business world, offering valuable insights for anyone seeking to achieve their goals and make a meaningful impact in their chosen field. As Jack Ma concluded, he left the audience with a powerful reminder. Your greatest achievement isn't what you accomplish for yourself, it's what you inspire others to achieve. As we wrap up this incredible journey through Jack Ma's wisdom, I hope you found as much inspiration and insight as I have. The principles we've explored today aren't just about business success. They're about transforming your entire approach to life and its challenges. Remember, the power to change your life and achieve your dreams lies within you. Jack Ma's story is a testament to what's possible when you believe in yourself, persist through failures, and maintain a positive mindset. But now, it's your turn to take these lessons and apply them to your own life. What part of Jack's message resonated with you the most? Was it his perspective on failure as a stepping stone to success? Or perhaps his emphasis on starting before you feel ready? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Share the insight that struck you the deepest. Your perspective might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. If you found value in this video, don't keep it to yourself. Share with friends, family, or colleagues who could benefit from this wisdom. Sometimes, all it takes is one idea to spark a major life change. And here's a challenge for you. Take one principle from this video and commit to applying it in your life this week. Whether it's embracing a failure as a learning opportunity or taking that first step towards a long-held dream, action is where real transformation begins. Remember, videos like this one are just the beginning. To continue your journey of growth and learning, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our upcoming videos on success, entrepreneurship, and personal development. If you need an extra dose of motivation or want to revisit any part of Jack Ma's wisdom, don't hesitate to watch this video again. Sometimes, we need to hear the same message multiple times before it truly sinks in. Thank you for joining us on this inspiring journey. Now, it's time to take what you've learned and make it your reality. Your success story is waiting to be written, and it starts right now. Don't forget to check out our next video for more insights on achieving success and living your best life. Until next time, believe in yourself, work hard, and never stop dreaming big.